Hello everyone, welcome back to Hexcells Plus. Last time we finished 1.1 through 1.6, so let's hop on into 2.1. A line number tells you the number of blue cells along its line. You can left click to open a guide and right click to mark it as complete. So we see there a line of 4. So these 4 in curly brackets must be consecutive, as we learnt previously. And on a 5 line, to have 4 consecutive, you must use the 3 center tiles, because then the top or the bottom will become the 4th. We know the same is true for this group of 3. It's either 1, 2, and 3 from the top, or 1, 2, and 3 from the bottom, which means the 2 in the center are definitely going to be blue tiles. So what else do we know? We know this 3 is not going to have 3 consecutive tiles, and since we know that this tile is already blue, we need to eliminate one of these tiles that can result in them not being consecutive. So we know that the top and bottom must be 2 of those tiles, and now it's solved for 3. We can get rid of that. This 3 has 3 friends, so we can get rid of that as well. And that means that this vertical 2 now has only 2 items on it. We can right click that to dismiss it. This 3 is going to need a third, and it's going to have to be one of these 2. We can't know yet, but we do know that there's only 1 tile in this vertical column, so we can eliminate this here. And because we know that this is not consecutive, we know this is not a tile. That solves for this 3. Now we know that this 2 has 1 on the right, and it must have 1 on the left, so using the same logic as we just did, knowing this is a vertical count of 1, we can eliminate these 2. That means this 3 gets its third. We can eliminate that and clear this. This 1 has a friend already, and this 2 has 1 top, right, and bottom, so we can clear that. This 2 needs a second, which clears the bottom of that 3. What do we have going on over here? Well, rather than trying to figure out anything going on here, we can certainly eliminate this tile, and then we can start propagating up and to the right. So 1 has a friend. There's only 1 in this column, so it must be this one. That 3 now touches 3, so we can eliminate those. This 1 needs 1 for its vertical length, and this 1 needs one of these 2 to be its friend, so it's definitely not that one. Then this 2 is only touching 2 tiles, which solves for this. That 1 is already touching 1, so it's not that. That 1 needs to touch at least 1, so it is this. They must not be consecutive. That 1 is touching 1, so it's not that either. 0 solve for themselves. There's our second of the 2, and with 0 remaining, there goes 2, 1. Right, so now we have cells on the inside, non-consecutives, and these diagonals working through the puzzle. So where do we begin? We begin here, because this is a line of 4 with only 4 tiles. This 2 could not have 2 consecutive, eliminates this. What else can we know easily? This 1 now has 1 in its vertical column, so we can eliminate these 3. This guy needs a third that is not consecutive. If it would be the one on the right, that would be 3 in a row. The one on its left would be 3 in a row, so it must be that guy. This vertical 2 needs a second, so that's that one there. This 2 has a pair touching, and this 1 has a friend. Also, that vertical column now we knew had 1 blue. This 2 here is only touching 2 cells, so it must be those. That 2 has 2 friends, so it's not this. This 2 has 2 friends, so it's not any of those. This vertical 3 then solves for that. This 3 needs a third, which is that, which means this vertical column has 1 in it, so it's not this. This 2 has 1 on its top right, 1 on its lower right, so it's not this one. This 2 needs a second of its only options. That 2 now has 2 friends, and we need a second. I was doing this back in the earlier videos. I know that this column needs a second, and I knew I needed to left click, but my hand did not obey. We have 2 in this column, so we can eliminate that, and this 3 has 3 around it already, so this leaves 1 for that column. And that is that whole centerpiece done. So here, this 5 carries all the way past this 4 through, so it counts the same cells. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need one of these 3 cells to be blue, and this 2 needs a second, so it's definitely not that one. Does that help us? This 1 only sees 1 other tile, so that must be blue. And this 2 only sees 1 other tile, so that must be blue. That 3 now sees 3, so it's not this one. So that lets us solve for 5 there. Then over on this side of the puzzle, this guy has 2 blues running through it currently, so we need a 3rd there. This 4 has 3 currently. We know that this 3 on an arc of 4 must have its top and bottom ends. And with 1, 2, 3 blues and 4, 5, we can eliminate that. 3 here, 1, 2, 3, we can eliminate that. There's only 1 remaining. This 3 has 3, so it's not that. And there's our last tile. On to 2, 3. Well, the 0 solves for itself. This 2 needs 2 consecutive, so the center one must be 1. This 2 seems the same rule happening here. And we also see that these can't be consecutive, so we can eliminate the second there and the second there working through the diagonal. That means this 2 only has 1 other option. What else do we see? This 1 has a friend. That 2 gets a second. That means this diagonal has 2 in it. We can eliminate that. 0 solves for itself. That 1 needs a friend. This 1 needs a friend. There's only 5 left in the full column with the 1 here and 4 below, so we can colour those blue. 1 here, we don't know where that's going to be yet. This 1 has a friend. We can carry on down there a little bit. The 2 in this column cannot be consecutive, so we can eliminate that one as well. Eight in this column. How many do we have? 2 blue and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellows, so that's too much to go with so far. There's too many on that diagonal of 3 to work with. So, what am I missing? Must be missing something. Where is the stretch in logic? 1 has a friend, there you go. 0 solves for itself. It's always the simple stuff, isn't it? Now, can we solve for this? We can. 1, 2, 3. That lets us solve for that, which is 1. Gets rid of all that stuff. This 1 has a friend. 0 solves for itself. 4 is done. 2 here is done. 0 solves for itself. Have we eliminated enough of these yet? We have not. So look for the easy stuff first. Don't know what that is. Don't know where this goes. Don't have one here yet, but this 2 now has 2 friends. That 3 only touches 3, so that means this vertical now has 1. We can get rid of that. This 2 sees 2. 0 solves for itself there. Right, any simple stuff we're missing? I don't see anything blindingly obvious. Oh, there you go. There's the logic. In this vertical column, this one must have one of these two being blue, which will fill this 2 vertical clue to be complete, so we can eliminate this tile. We can't solve for that bit down there, but we do get some progress up here, knowing that this 2 is only touching these 2 tiles. That 2 is now solved for. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we still need to eliminate one more of those. But this diagonal now has 1, 2, so we can eliminate those there. 2 must be consecutive, so it must be these 2 and not that one. This one sees a blue. So how about that 8 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. 1 has a friend, 0 solves for itself, 1 only sees 1, that 1 sees that. This 2 only touches 2. How are we doing on this vertical 4? Solved that. 2 there has already been solved. 3 here we don't yet know. 4 there we don't yet know. 4 here we don't yet know, but this 2 eliminates those, and now on this 4 there's only 2 left to fill that in. 1 here has a friend, so it's not that. That 3 needs an extra. It's the whole lower side of the puzzle done. This 1 has a friend, so we can eliminate that. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need one of these. It must be one of these 2, so it can't be that one. 1, 2, 3. One of those is going to be that. Get rid of this. That 1 needs a friend. That's solved. You're not 1. Now we have 1 remaining, and we have 2 in this column, so we know must be that. Alright, this is very distributed, isn't it? This 3. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 means the center must be blue. 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They must be blue, working from either ends of a consecutive chain of 6. That means this vertical one, where you can't have 2 consecutive, eliminates these 2 tiles. This 2 is touching 2. This 4 only sees 4. That 2 is now touching 2. Don't know where this 3 completes though. This 1 has 1 in it, so it's not any of those. This 5 just sees 5, so we can complete that simply enough. Now, what's next? This 3 currently sees 4, so we can't do that. This 3 currently sees 4, so we can't do that. This 5 currently sees way too many. This 3 currently sees 5. This 2 sees 3. This 2 does see 2, so we can eliminate those. That means this 3 now can either work from here as a terminus rather than there, so this must be 1. Can't know which of the ends matches it yet though. This 3 needs a third, so we can do that. 6 here. Still have no extra advice on. So we go around the houses again. Don't know that. Don't know that. Can't know this yet, can we? Right. If this must have 2 consecutive, we can eliminate that, which then means this has only 2 remaining, which means this must have at least those 5 in a row. If that makes 6, we can eliminate these. That means over here, we now only have 3 left in this diagonal. And with 2 must be one of those, so we can eliminate that. That 1 has a friend. That 3 needs a third. That means this 3 diagonal has 3. We can eliminate that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for that. There's 2 remaining. That's one of them. And one of the others that remains must be one of these 2, which means the 5 is solved for. Now this has 3 in a row, 1, 2, 3, so it's not this, it is that. Some lovely logic in that one. Okay, lots going on. Nothing we can't do though. Let's start with this. Let's start with the zeros. Zeros solve for themselves. Now, what I was about to start with was this 3 here on a chain of 4 means those 2 must be ones that we can tell. This 3 only sees 3 tiles. This 2 only sees 2 tiles, as does this one. This must be either top right and bottom left or top left and bottom right, but we can't know which yet. But what we can know is in a column of 4, one of these 2 must be 1, which means this is not 1. And when 2 sees 1, must circle around like this. This 3 sees 3 in total. And this column, or this diagonal, has 3 in a row, so 2, 3, not you. This one needs a friend. What else do we know? 3 in a row here. 1, 2, 3 eliminates that, which gives us another 2. This is 3 in a row, starting from the bottom. 1, 2, 3 gets rid of these. 2 only sees 2, so it must be that and that. And then 3 in a row is 1, 2, 3 gets rid of this. 3 only sees 3, so we can do that. This 3 also only sees 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5th for that diagonal 5. 2 that don't touch means this must be 1 and then one of the 2 above, but we don't know which yet. This 2 already sees 2, so we can eliminate that, which sees only 1. Now this 2 sees a second. And I think that's all of our numbers currently solved. So let's go around the diagonals. We can't solve that or that yet. This does not have 3 yet. This does not have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eliminates this at the top of this 3 and gives us 1 to work with in this vertical. 0 solves for itself, only touching 2 neighbors. 2 here already has 2. This one needs a friend. This 2 now has one of its sides solved, but it doesn't mean we can necessarily solve the other side yet. But that 2 gets a friend. 1, 2, 3, nothing there yet. This 4 though, 1, 2, 3 and 4 eliminates that. 3 completes this and that there. What else do we know? We have 3 in this diagonal. That eliminates this tile. That 2 only sees 2. That 4 is now totally solved. Right, any numbers we haven't solved yet? Well, this 5 here is interesting. We have 1, 2, 3 at the top, a 4th at the bottom, so one of these 2 must be blue and the other one must be black. But when this is a 3, it means the 2 on the opposing side must be blue. Don't know if that helps us any. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. That solves for this 4 on the diagonal, which helps us solve some of this stuff over here. That 2 is solved. This 2 solves itself. We have 3 remaining. We know one of them has to be here and one of them has to not be there. But when there's only 4 tiles remaining and 3 of them must be blue, that means those must be that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears that. I almost feel like I'm doing ASMR puzzles. Right, 2, 6, last one of the 2s. The 0 solves for itself. This 3 sees 4, so we can't work with that yet, but this 2 only sees 2. What else do we know? This 5 here sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. And if it's a chain of 5 that can't be made, it means we must use the top and bottom parts of it, and then one of the central ones must be the missing piece. Here, with the 2s, can't be 2 consecutive and cannot be 2 consecutive here, so that must be blue. Doesn't help us much more past that, although here, this is interesting. Look at the verticals. We know this vertical has only 1 in it, and this 2 needs a second. So this one must be one of these 2, so we can eliminate all the way down the line, and we can do the same thing on this side. Now, this 2 has 2 non-consecutive, so it can't be that one. That means this 2 gets a friend, that one has a friend, this 2 gets a second. This vertical 3, 1, 2, can't be this, must be that. This 1 sees that, so it can't be this. This 3 needs a third. Can't do much more with that just yet, I think, but this 2 needs a second, and these 2 both need friends. Right, what else do we know? 1, 2, 3 works for that nicely. Right, so we have one of these 2, one of those 2. I don't think we can do anything up at the top here just yet, so let's look at the rest of the grid. This 3 we cannot currently solve for. This 3 I don't think we can just yet, because it could be these 2 or it could be the 2 opposing. This 5 sees 8 tiles. This 2 does not see any blues yet. This 4 sees 2 blues and 3 yellows, which doesn't add up for us. 2 vertically here, we can't know yet. We know that one of these must not be it, because this only sees 1, but we have no way of telling which it would be. Oh, maybe we do. With this 3, knowing that we have 1, 2, and that one of these must not be blue, and here with 2, but knowing one of these must not be blue. No, because it could be this tile and that tile. That doesn't work out, I don't think. 4 we can't tell, 1 we don't know, 4 we can't tell. So we're missing a gap in the logic somewhere. Let's have a look at this vertical here, because we've got lots of rules to work with. So we need 3 out of this. This 3 has 2, so it must be one of those. It must be one of those. It must be one of those. And it must be one of those. So that doesn't really help us at all, does it? Let's go for what it must not be. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. We only need 3 of these to be true, to be blue. So one of these must not be. One of these must not be. One of those must not be. And one of these must not be. And if we need to colour in 3, it must be the odd ones in that list. Excellent logic. Is the same true on this side? One of these. No, we don't have the back half solved to know that. So we can't do the same trick twice. But what we can do with the 5, we have 1 and 2. One of these must not be 1. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that one of these must not be 1. And one of those must not be 1. So this must be 1. Don't think that helps us urgently. But it's true. That's a fact. What else do we know? We know that this 3 currently sees 3, so it's not that one. And so that's, is this and not that. Does that help us solve this? 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. That 3 sees 3, so it's not that. This 2 has 2 non-consecutive, so it's not this. This 3 needs a third. That 3 has 3. This 3 needs a third. That 5 is solved. That 3 needs a third. That 4 is solved. Now, I'm guessing we're going to have to do a similar trick here, although 1, 2, 3, yeah, we don't know that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes that a lot easier. 2 sees 2, not this. 2 sees 2, not that. You need a second. You have 3, you have 1. 1, 2, 3 is solved, so we get that. Equally, that is done for. Two sees a second. You see 2 already, so it's not those. Must be one of these. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just don't know which of these it will be yet. 2, we have 1, 2, so it's not either of those. This one needs 1. That's solved. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's solved. This needs 1, which is this one. 2, we have 1 and 2, so it's not this. 1, we have 1 there. And so, how do we figure out this last tile? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got to be one of these. There's got to be a piece of logic I am missing. 1 remaining. One, 2, 3, 4. There it is. I cleared off this 3 too soon. 1, 2, 3. It's not this one. Is that one. So that is 2-6 complete. We have unlocked 3-1 through 3-6. So we will do those next time. If you're enjoying the series, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.